Hi guys, happy Monday. I am so excited for tonight's MF Monday. I'm your host, 25K affiliate, Deanna Christal, and I think I have some good stuff for you today. I'm really excited. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. We have some announcements. Well, we actually have one announcement. And a lot of questions have been coming up. Are we doing a MF group meetup at convention. Unfortunately, we will not be doing that. With our schedules, there's really not a lot of extra time, especially for Lacey and Tim, because they have something to do every single night. So we want to encourage you to get with groups of people and go to dinner as with your team. If you don't have a team, find other people to connect with and do that. Maybe we'll start a thread, a different thread, a convention thread, if you're looking for people to hang out with or to have dinner with, to connect with, that you'll be able to do that. But if you have a team of people, this is prime time when you need to be meeting with those people. It's time for the smaller teams to break off, okay? Yeah, I have approximately about 15 to 20 people going, so I made personal reservations for my team at a restaurant. I used an app called Open Table, okay? In the Open Table app, you can schedule, make reservations for parties up to 20. It was so great. I absolutely loved it. I didn't realize that we could do that, and we did. So and so I got that started. I hope I'm live. Yep, I'm live. So if you want to make a reservation, if you're worried, oh, I have too big of a party, you can make them up to 20 on Open Table. It's an app and it's a website. So you can go to that for up to 20 people, and you can do that as well for your team or for people you're going to connect there with, what have you. But we will be wanting to sit together as a team if we can, things of that nature. So since the chat got shut down, we may need to figure out, we may start a thread for that, but we'll get back with that. I'll get back with you with that, okay? So tonight we're going to be talking about bridging the gap. I've got some messages today of people like, what are you talking about? And so I kind of wanted to discuss this. We're going to be talking about what inspired this was the MDC disclosure statement. Now, before you jump off here thinking this is going to be a compliance talk, hold your horses, okay? We're not going to be talking about compliance today. The numbers fascinated me, okay? When I was looking at the updated income disclosure statement, I was completely fascinated, and it just gave me a burst of inspiration. And so we're going to focus tonight on the first four ranks: builder, director, executive, and 5K, okay? So I'm going to pull up, I have it pulled up here. Give me a second. Let me adjust my screen. I have it actually here. If you don't, obviously remember it and you can't go look it up while I'm sitting on here with you. So here is the income disclosure sheet, okay? And you're going to kind of be wondering, okay, Deanna, what are you talking about? So these are the first four ranks in our business, okay? Builder, director, executive, and 5K. Well, we know that the first three, you can purchase your way to those ranks, but 5K, you can't purchase your way to 5K, honey. You got to work for it, okay? And so as we're glancing at this, I want you to look at some of these numbers. Don't get overwhelmed. I'm going to kind of point things out. If you're a builder, you're in 43% of MDC affiliates are builders, okay? So almost half of the company affiliates are builders, okay? So if you're a builder, I don't want to make you feel bad for being a builder. Sometimes that's all people can afford, whatever. But if you're a builder, you're in the majority. You're not in the minority. You're not standing out in any way. You're not making extra commissions. You're just ordering a bottle or one product, okay? Nothing really separates you from anyone else. You're just a builder. You're with 50% of the majority of MDC. If you're an executive, if you get yourself to executive, you're in the 29% of all of HempWorks, okay? You get yourself up to the top 29% of HempWorks. Even directors, the top 25. But executive, the top 29% of affiliates in MDC are executive, okay? And then this is where the jump happens. When you go from executive to 5K, you go from the 29% to the less than 1% in the company. That's crazy, okay? And so tonight we're going to be talking about bridging the gap between executive and 5K, okay? And this is the numbers we're talking about here. If you can see the annual, I wonder if I have a pencil on here. The annual income for, sorry, it's not letting me do it. Oh, wait, here it is. The annual income for an executive is $979, okay? That's the average annual income for an executive, $979 entire year, a whole year, okay? And then we come over here and we have when you go, the bridge to 5, this is the two numbers that fascinated me. When you go up to 5K, oops, I didn't want to do that. When you go up to 5K, you go from $979 to $9,125. So that's not guaranteed. This is just averages of people who are 5K affiliates. So the average 5K affiliate makes $9,000 a year. The average executive makes $979. Okay, that's a huge difference. But the difference between 5K and executive, to me, is not the biggest jump in the world. Okay, that's like two really good affiliates. Okay, it's really not that much. And so, I mean, you may think, oh, it's huge mountain, 5K. Oh my gosh, I've been trying to get there for months. It's huge, but there's just a degree of separation that is keeping you back from 5K. That's the difference here that we're going with, okay? That's the difference. So that's a huge difference. Almost $1,000 to $9,000 annually. That's a huge difference. Many people on my team are hovering at the 1K to 3K mark, okay? And if they can bridge the gap to 5K, they could be doing some big things. So I wanted to kind of hop on here and talk about this bridge to 5K, okay? So how can you get from this annual average of executive to get to 5K? How can that happen, okay? How are we going to bridge this gap, okay? And so many of we know it's already September. It's September, and 2019 has just flown by. So at this point, we have some time. We have about 3.5 months to get to January 2020, okay? And so let's say our goal is to bridge this gap over the next 3.5 months to get to 5K in 2020, or to get to that next rank, whatever that rank is for you, okay? So the bridge to 5K, we can start walking the bridge right now. Okay, we can start bridging that gap to get to 5K or that next rank where you are. That doesn't mean we're going to wait until, I'm just going to wait till Black Friday. I'm going to wait till the next sale happens before, I'll really kick it into gear then. And that should really help me, propel me to 5K in January. You know what? I'm just going to start I'm going to reset. First of the year, I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to go all in. January 1, I'm going to get fired up. When everyone else is getting fired up, that's what I'm going to do. No. Okay, that does not mean we're waiting around. That does not mean we're sitting around and we're just like, oh, let me get this recliner kicked back. I've been trying for so long, nothing's happened, so I'm just not going to try. I'm just going to just sit here because it's all luck anyways. Okay? No, we're not going to do that either. Okay? We are going to bridge the gap over the next 3.5 months. Your work and in network marketing, I've always heard, your next 6 months is based on your next 90 days. The next 90 days is for the next 90 days. Okay. So if you want to be 5K in 2020, you're going to have to work the next 90 days to get there. Okay. So the definition of bridging the gap is to connect two things or make the difference between them smaller. Okay. And a lot of people, no, okay, well, I'm not going to skip to there. So I'm going to give you 3 ways you're going to bridge the gap between now and 2020 over the next 90 days so you can get to where you want to go. And you may be thinking as I say these things, okay, Deanna has said these things a million friggin' times. Well, you know what? I keep saying them, and are you doing them? Are you implementing these things? Are you implementing the things we are telling you to do that's going to help you get to where you want to go? If the question is no, well, then you have your answer of why you're still where you are. If your answer is yes, you're doing absolutely everything you can. You're doing everything you possibly can to get to where you want to go. Come and talk to me, because I highly doubt anyone is doing every single thing they need to do to get to where they want to go. I just highly doubt it, okay? But anyways, first up, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to meet new people, okay? This could be adding friends on Facebook. Now, I'm not going to go into depth about adding friends on Facebook, because I probably say that every single Monday night, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore. We have so many trainings in this group by not only me, by Tim, by Haley, by Lacey, by so many people on how important it is to add friends that I'm not going to waste another breath on it tonight. So if you want to talk, if you want to learn how you can add friends on Facebook and maximize your reach, you can go to coffee with one person, or you can post to 5,000 on your Facebook friends list. That choice is completely up to you. But if you go in the description above, after this, you can see 3 videos that I think are great, 2 videos, and 1 tips that Tim made on how to add friends from groups. And that'll tell you all you need to know about how you can add friends. Okay? So go watch them after this if you want to know how you can maximize your social media. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about it tonight. Okay? And if, say you don't want to add Facebook friends, say you keep thinking about it, but you're not doing it, okay? You're sitting there scrolling through Facebook, but you're not going to take time to add friends. You don't want to mess with that. You don't want to make your Facebook page public. I could go on and on and on about excuses as to why you don't want to add friends, but let's say you don't want to do that. You're going to have to get out in the public. You're going to have to start meeting people. So what you're going to do when you get off here, if you don't want to add friends on Facebook, you're going to start Googling. And you're going to Google women's or men's lunches, breakfast, clubs, business luncheons, networking lunches, dinners, clubs, book clubs. Start learning ways that you can get out in the community and start getting your face and talking to more people, okay? When Lacey and Tim built their web design business, they got out in the community and they were talking to people. That is why they had such an amazing network when they joined this business, and that shot them to 100K in such a short amount of time, because they had an amazing network of people that they had met while being out networking, okay? So if you want to get to where you want to go, you're going to have to start meeting new people. This is the biggest #1 thing. If we're not meeting new people, we're not going to get to where we want to go. It's just the bottom line. If you're stagnant and you're like, oh, I just can't seem to get to where I want to go, are you adding friends? Are you getting out in the community? Are you meeting new people in mass amounts? Are you talking to people every day? Okay? What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay? So you have to meet new people. If you're talking to the same warm market for the past 6 months to a year, and you're getting frustrated that things aren't moving for you, it's time to wake up, and it's time to go meet new people. It's time to pull up your pants and start going out and meet new people. It is uncomfortable. It isn't easy. That's something that I decided I wasn't going to do. So that's why I have decided to immerse myself in learning e-commerce, online, social media stuff, okay? That's why I decided to do that. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine. You can go this other avenue and start meeting people, but you got to get out and do it, okay? The second thing is you need to hone in on your authentic story, okay? What is your authentic story? Not what you wish to achieve one day, not some vague, fishy bullshit, okay? That's, okay. A lot of people, and I did this for 4 years, guys, before I joined this business. I spoke in very vague terms. I was like, oh my gosh, I just love this industry. I just can't wait to help so many people find financial freedom. How vague is that? That's so vague, and it didn't connect with people. There is a stop, and that doesn't connect. If you're like not making that, okay, so like I used to say things, and I know this isn't bad, and I don't want you to feel bad if you've done this, but like, if you're not making enough money to like do, like, okay, let's say you go on a vacation, okay, you don't even make $100, like $500 a month. Okay, let's just pretend you don't make $500 a month, and you're sitting out there and you go on vacation, and you're acting like on vacation that you're paying for the vacation with the money you make from this business. That is a lie, and that is inauthentic. If you're pretending like you're paying for things with money that you make from this business, and that's inauthentic, and it's cheesy and it's vague, it doesn't relate. you got to get down and dirty, and you got to start telling your real story. That's something I missed for a really long time. I didn't tell my real story until I joined this company. And when I started telling my real story, that's when my business started to really change. When I started to say, my last business sucked. I was in the trenches. I was not doing very well. I was not, when I started talking about that and talking about how CBD came in and really changed my life and started honing in on network marketing as a whole, my business really changed from then on. And so if you're not telling your authentic story and you're waiting on a certain thing, I used to think, oh, when I stay at home, everyone's going to join me. When I can stay at home full time, everyone's going to join me. When I can do what my upline does, when I can just talk about being home all the time and doing this and going on vacations and buying RVs and buying boats and buying houses and buying cars, when I can talk about that, then I'll make the big bucks. Okay, I didn't get to where I am by talking about these grandiose things, okay? I got to where I am by telling people they can make money from their cell phone. Very basic things, okay? People want very basic things. Have you ever gone to the store and you had your credit card decline because you have no money in your bank account? Do you know those feelings that brings up in people? I've been there. I've had it declined, and I've had to embarrassingly tell them, I'm so sorry. Like, I thought I had money here. I'm like, everyone's standing behind there staring at me. I'm sweating. I'm just like mortified that my card isn't working. Have you ever had that happen? Do you know how many people have probably had that happen? Do you know how much more that relates to someone? And if it happened to you yesterday, you know what you can say? I was at the store today and my credit card declined because I didn't have enough money from the job that I go to work 40 hours a week. And so you know what I've decided to do? I've decided to take control of my life and change my future so that I never have to experience that feeling again. And I have started my own network marketing business because this is the only way I know how I can take control of my finances and give myself a raise. Who can give themselves a 200% raise in a year? Who can give themselves a 500% raise in a year? Only in this industry can you possibly do that. At your job, you can't get a 500% raise in a year. Oh, you're going to be lucky to get 50 cents. Okay? So these are the kind of stories you have to start telling. They have to be real. They have to be real. And if you're sitting here telling a fake story for the past 6 months to a year, people feel it and people know it and they know you're phony and they don't want anything to do with you. So you know what? You're going to have to turn that around and you're going to have to get back in their good graces and you're going to have to start telling stories that are vulnerable and relate. And it's hard and it's gut wrenching. Oh, I got to put myself out there. Oh, I got to tell people I'm in debt. Oh, I got to tell people why I'm doing it. Oh, I don't want to do that. I just want to talk about the car I want, my dream board, this traveling I want to do. You just want to talk about the pretty things, but I'll tell you what, the pretty things don't relate to people because people think that is not possible in their realm. They have no vision. They do not understand. They don't have a connection from here to where that is. They can't connect to you who's out there experiencing this amazing phony life. They can't connect to that because you didn't tell them, like you didn't attach the attachment of how you got to that place. I hope this is making sense because I can't see comments. So if you're making sense to you about your authentic story, this is key. So you gotta stop posting fluffy, vague bullshit, okay? And so you will hone in on your story, but you're probably thinking, well, Deanna, how do I know my story? Your story is your story. My story isn't special. No one cares what I have to say. Okay, you're lying to yourself. You think that, but the reality is there's thousands upon billions of people in the world, and someone out there relates to your story. Trust me, half the time, 99% of the time I get on the lives, and I'm like, that felt weird. I don't know if anyone connected to that. And every time I have those thoughts, I get messages from people that say, thank you so much. You inspired me. Thank you so much for sharing that tonight. It really helped me get through a hard time. Thank you so much for reasons that I didn't even understand, but it connected with someone out there. But that's because I'm telling my authentic story. My authentic story is connecting with other people. Okay? So you're going to hone in on your story by starting to tell it. This will be perfect as you're starting to meet new people. because you're going to have to start telling your story all the time. What is your story? What is your authentic story? What is it? What is it? What is it? Maybe you need to sit down with a pad and pen and paper, and you need to start writing out, what is my story? What is my story? If you don't know your story, then other people don't know your story. If you say, and you know what I'm going to tell you to do? Go buy a course. Go do something. Go find a course that's going to tell you about storytelling. Go. I even got an ad on my thing of like these master classes. I don't know if anyone else is getting them, but like master classes by the lady who owns Vogue and just some different like professors and things. And there was one guy, I guess he writes books. I don't even know him, but it was like people were raving about it. And it was like he's teaching you to storytell. That's the kind of level that you need to get to. That if you really want to do this, you're going to start investing in yourself. You're going to start self-developing. You're going to start reading some books. If you don't know how to tell your story, you need to start looking at storytelling books and start reading how to tell your story, because honey, this is all storytelling. And I spent 4 years trying to figure out my story, and I attached my story to losing weight, to losing 65 pounds by using those products. Now that helped me gain a plethora of customers, but that did not help me build a business with people who wanted to make money in the online industry. So I had to change my story when I came to HempWorks, because that story wasn't working just talking about the products all day. It wasn't working. It wasn't working for me. So I had to change the story, and now I help people make money in the network marketing industry from their cell phones. Okay, so you have to hone in on that story. What is your current story? And it is not wrong to build your story, build your business off the backs of other people. If you see Lacey and Tim's check come up, and you're like, man, wow, that inspires you. You're like, that's why I'm doing this. That is why I'm doing this. That verifies why I'm doing this right now. When you see a 3,000 plus check come up or whatever, you're like, that's why I'm doing it, because of that right there. And so if that ignites that in you, tell the story of how that makes you feel. Put your check next to their check and say, we all start somewhere. And I know this may not be much now, but I am determined to inspire and build a team of people who are on fire and ready to change the financial blueprint of their future and take hold and take control of their life and be free and make steps toward that. And I have no doubt by partnering with the cannabis industry, by reintroducing the plant to the planet, I will get to my goals. I will achieve my goals of full financial freedom, just like my upline Lacey and Tim Garza did. Does that sound spammy? People are like, oh, I don't want to sound spammy. Do you think I sound spammy? It's all in your storytelling. It's all how you say it. It's all how you say it. It's all how you say it. The third thing is you got to posture yourself towards your goals. Okay? This is my goal. This is the TV. Okay? This is the TV. This is scrolling on my phone. This is... I don't like that Democrat debate. Trump. Vaccinations. This. That. Everything that's trying to consume your mind on your phone, that's not posturing yourself towards your goals. Man, I really need to post today, but I'm just going to keep scrolling through the timeline. When you should shut off Facebook, shut off Instagram, and start planning your posts. Okay? You got to write your goals down. And I'm not saying, I'm going to write my goals down here, guys. You know what? Super affiliate. I'm going to help 3,000 people in the next 30 days. Now, these are nice and these are good to manifest and whatever. But you need to start making some realistic goals, okay? 5K in 2020 is a good freaking goal. And if you're hovering at 1K and 3K, you better start hardcore posturing yourself towards 5K in 2020, because you have 90 days and some change to get yourself postured where you want to go, okay? So I want to see 5K written down, or whatever your next rank is, and hung where you're going to see it every day. 5K is approximately like 25 people, or actually 5K Let me do some math. 5K is 50 people on a director pack. 50 people. When you think of the magnitude of that, you're like, that's really not that much. I mean, it isn't. Like, when you think 25K is like between 450 and 750, 5K, 50 people. You need 50 people at director pack. 50 director packs in 1 month. Can you imagine if you sold 50 director packs in 1 month? The momentum that would build from that, because it's just going to snowball. It's going to snowball. It's going to snowball. So write that right down and write 50 people. Write that down, or however many people, and that is your goal. And that's what you're going to, over the next 90 days and some change, you're going to be visualizing that. You're going to be visualizing that. You're going to be posturing yourself towards that. What are you going to do every single day to get you there? I'm telling you what, not is going to get you there. Sitting back and living on a prayer. Sitting back and just trusting in God and the universe to take care of it. Because honestly, I'm telling you, that doesn't get rewarded, and I don't care what you tell me. It doesn't. Okay? I've been reading all through the New Testament, and there are so many scriptures about he who plants their seed will reap their harvest. He who is doing nothing is like a lazy son of a gun sitting on a couch. Like, there's so many scriptures like that. I'm talking about the lazy man sitting on the couch wishing for a better day, and it's never going to come because they do absolutely nothing. A lazy man might as well turn over in their bed like a door on a hinge because they're lazy. Okay? No, the people out there planting their seeds, that is a multiple thing in the Bible. So if you're just living on a prayer, just praying that God's going to bring that next rock star in your business, it's just going to manifest. They're just going to show up. Keep on dreaming, honey, because that God, the universe does not reward you just sitting there waiting for whatever to happen. I don't believe it. I don't believe long-term rewards happen that way. You got to start planting those seeds every single day. You have to be telling mass amounts of people about your goal, okay? How do you reach mass amounts of people? Well, I found the best way to reach mass amounts of people is on social media. Now, Whitney Carmichael would have never reached Deidre in Hawaii, who would have never reached Haley in the UK had she not been on Instagram using hashtags. Okay? There's so many different ways people have found people. You know, Brandon Day would have not found Tracy if he wasn't in a Harry Potter group adding friends to his page. Okay? You're going to have to put yourself out there. You're going to have to start getting uncomfortable. You're going to have to start doing things that you don't want to do. I don't have to do that. My rock star is on their way. No, your rock star is not on their way because you have to work. You have to do something. You have to posture yourself where you want. So I found a way to reach mass amounts of people every single day is to have my Facebook friends list maxed out, and I'm posting every single day in a posture of where I'm headed, in a posture of what I'm doing, in a posture of my career. That's what I'm doing. Okay? But if you're not doing that on social media, you don't feel comfortable doing that, you don't want to go live, you don't want to post, you don't want to tell your story, you don't want to get vulnerable, you're going to have to find a way to start meeting people in person. The luncheons, the networking events, the business dinners, whatever you have to get into, functions, clubs, you're going to have to start getting out there and meeting people. And if you're not willing to do either of those two things, I don't really know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. You're going to have to just stop sitting on the couch and waiting things to happen. If you really want this to happen, you have to, I really believe that if you posture yourself towards this and you start doing daily action every single day, you can get to where you want to go. But you have to be meeting new people. Because if you're sitting out there and you're doing the same thing every single day and you're posting the same posts, the same cheesy things, if you're not having movement and you're stagnant, you got to mix it up. You got to shake it up. Okay, there's a thing in yoga, and I did not know this was a thing until I started going to yoga. And I never thought about this until I went to yoga. But in yoga, in vinyasa, you can go against the wall and put your legs up the wall. Like if I'm laying on the ground, I go towards the wall and you put your legs up to the wall, if that makes sense. Okay, and the thought process behind that is to drain the blood out of your feet, so that when you stand up, you can get fresh blood flowing to your feet. Because when you're walking on your feet for so long, if you don't ever do that, I never thought about that. Like, all that blood is just dormant in your feet. Like, who would have thought? Who would have thought? It's just down there, just hanging out, just stale blood in your feet, in your toes. But when you flip your legs up, you force, gravity pulls your blood down, which would in turn allow fresh blood to come to your feet. There are people who need to put their feet up and get that dead blood out, or that stagnant blood out of there, and get some fresh blood flowing in, because you got to start talking to new people. We got to start talking to new people. And if anyone's preaching to the choir here, I'm preaching to myself, because I need to start talking to new people. I need to start talking to new people, okay? I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat, okay? So one thing I want you guys to keep in mind while you're doing this, okay? If you expect to reap immediate rewards, just remember how long it took you to join. Okay, I was talking to one of my affiliates the other day, and she said she watched me for 8 months. And she's been in this business for about 4 to 6 months or something. But I was like, think how long it took you. It took you 8 months to join me. So to think you just joined 6 months ago, there's people out there still watching you. There's people watching me, guys, from freaking when I was in my last company, that are just now coming back, that are still coming back, and they still have not joined. It just takes time. And not even how long did it join. Not like the person said, here's the options, are you going to join? No, like, how long did you watch the person before you even reached out? I know I watched my first upline for like 4 months. I watched Lacey for several months. I had no interest in what Lacey was doing until my grandma, but the same thing. Like, does that make sense? Like, you have to, like, if you took you a long time, you can't expect people to just jump on your board in like 2 weeks. It's going to take time. So that's why now start your goal to get to 5K in 2020. Now you're thinking 2020, like, so far away. But for real, there's so many people stagnant. You're going to have to do something. You got to shake it up. You got to shake it up. You got to get this heart pumping. You got to get this blood pumping. You got to get some fresh blood flowing. Because if you don't, it's going to start backtracking. It's going to start settling in. Because people will quit. People will turn away. People will give up. So you got to constantly be searching for that fresh blood. So it's all about posturing. It's all about doing this. I hope this made sense, and I hope this brought you value. Now I'm going to put this over so I can see if there's any questions. If you guys have any questions, please say them quick, because I'm going to hop off here and give us all the rest of the night off. Oh, there's 101 comments. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching tonight. If you found value in this, please tell me, please say, I found value. I can't wait. Tell me what rank you're going to hit. I'm hitting 50K, okay? I'm going into 2020, 50K, okay? That's what I'm doing. I'm tired of being a 25K affiliate. I'm moving on. I'm ready to move on and release the shackles of 25K and go on to 50. What is your goal? What do you want to hit in 2020? And I'm telling you what, if you break the threshold, you're talking about thousands of dollars to cross the threshold, thousands of dollars to get yourself uncomfortable, to get to where you want to go. Are you willing to do the work? Are you willing? Are you willing? Are you willing to get your butt off the couch? Are you willing to put your cell phone down and stop scrolling through social media? Are you willing to shut off the apps when you should be creating content? Instead of being a consumer, are you ready to be a creator? Are you ready? Is this what you want? Because if you want it, you got to want it, and you got to tell the universe that you want it, and you got to start planting the seeds every day, okay? There comes a point when you have to stop being lazy and you have to start being a doer. And I know that I trust in God all the time. I believe in God, and I say those things, but I'm telling you what, God honors the people who work. The universe honors the people who are doing the work. It's just simple facts. Are you going to be the person? are you going to be the persistent knocker that keeps going after it, going after it? You get knocked down and you stand back up and you say, I'm not going to quit. I don't want to watch this MF Monday. My husband gets mad at me. My husband yells at me every time I watch this MF Monday because I'm not watching football with him. Ugh. My husband gets so mad at me. My wife gets so mad at me when I'm not watching these shows with her, our shows. But you know what? Do you want it? I'm telling you what, I had to tell my husband many a time, I'm sorry, honey, I'm not going to watch our show tonight. I'm going to have to do something for my business. We don't have a babysitter right now during the day. I had a babysitter, guys. I was living the freaking life. I had a babysitter 15 hours a week, living the life, and we've had to cut back some costs until we sell our house. And I've been home with the kids every day. So I haven't got to do everything I got to do. Today at 7 o'clock when he came home, I had to take off my mom hat and put on my work boots. And I had to come out here and I had to say, okay, I'm going to get this ready for my team. And I had to sit here and I had to write these notes out. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. But you know what? I'm going to go inside. I'm going to pre-plan my post for tomorrow. I may even go live after I get off this. I don't know. But that's what it takes. That is what it takes. If you're watching TV and if you're scrolling through your phone, you have time to accomplish anything. It's up to you. The choice is yours. The choice is yours. And you may think it's not possible. You may have made this goal to get to 5K times and it didn't work. But I'll tell you what. Get up and do it again. Get up and say, I'm doing this again. I'm not stopping. I'm not quitting until I achieve the goals I want to achieve. Get back up and say, okay, I'm going after 50K again. Guys, I have not actually hit 25K. Do you guys know that since May? Do you know how discouraging it is every month when that thing passes and I lose $250 and these things happen? You know what? I've been knocked down again. I'm going to stand back up and I'm going towards 50K again because I'm not going to stop until I get to my goals. And that's the attitude that you all have to have. When you get kicked off the horse, you got to get back up and you got to jump right back on. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. I cannot wait to see your guys' goals in the comments below. I am fired up. I am so fired up to 50K and I cannot wait to see your guys' rank frames coming out. I can't wait to see so many people on this team ranking and getting to those ranks and getting where you want to go because it is possible. CBD is not wore out. We're getting a new brand in less than a month. Life is good and it's just getting started. So I hope you guys have an amazing evening. We'll chat soon. Bye.